What's up, everybody? This is the MunchCast, as we call it. This is the very first video that we're doing. My name is Jason Nova.
It's Tom, Sarge.
What's up? I'm Damien. I go by Demonic.
Alright, so this video, this rambling series, as we'll call it, is basically just about us chatting about various things, hardware, video games, whatever the heck we feel like talking about.
First MunchCast. I think we should probably all give a little bit of background about ourselves and why we're here and what we're into. So I'll go ahead and start with that. I'm 29. I've been a gamer since I was, as far as I can remember. Gaming has always been a huge part of my life. Started with regular Nintendo, worked my way up through the Nintendo systems, PlayStations, Xbox. Basically, always been a PC gamer, but when I was younger, PC gaming kind of sucked. You know, like PC gaming to me is all about multiplayer, but you know, when I was 14 years old, I mean, the internet and the infrastructure just wasn't there to support like quality online gaming. But eventually, games like EverQuest came out, and I got really involved in those. Was able to meet some people over the internet. That's what that's always what my goal was, is have fun with friends, you know, playing games. And sometimes when you're by yourself at home, you can't play games with anyone. So these days I play mostly just Heroes of the Storm. I just got into the Smite beta for Xbox. Been playing that. That's fun. It's been interesting playing some computer-type games on the console. But majorly just a Heroes of the Storm player, currently rank 8 or something like that. Not really trying to grind it out yet, but that's me in a nutshell.
Alright, awesome. So, yeah, I'll go ahead too. So, like I said, my name is Jason Nova, and big gamer. I have been since I was 4 years old, and got my first console, which was the NES, and I've been gaming ever since. I'm 28 years old now, and yeah, I love console gaming, more specifically just because of the fact I've never had a PC build that was capable of playing all the latest games or at high resolutions, graphics cards that would actually handle it. But I'm actually starting to get into PC gaming a little bit with Heroes of the Storm and that. Also, have played PS4, Xbox One, but actually been playing a lot of the older games, which is Xbox 360 and PS3 a lot more. Always wanted to get into game design and that type of stuff. So, yeah. So gaming has always been a big important thing in my life, and I absolutely loved, playing video games, whatever the heck it might be, RPGs, action games, first-person shooters. Yeah, whatever it is, I stay up on the latest games, and I always continue to definitely try out whatever the heck is most popular or indie games and that type of stuff.
Alright, well, I guess I will go last. Basically, my name is Tom. I've been gaming since I was about 10 or so. I think the first game that I ever recall ever actually playing was, there's a game that my dad had. It was on his computer. It was called Jill of the Jungle. I don't know, maybe that's his wife. I have no idea. I mean, I think her name is Jane, but whatever. That's besides the point.
He was cheating.
Yeah, whatever. He was cheating. Yeah. So ever since that gaming has been something I was really into. And then when Half-Life came out, I'm like, oh my god, this game is amazing. I must have played Half-Life like 10 times, and every single time it was like it was amazing. And the first console I had was I'd have to say probably the Sega Genesis. And then after that, I had a Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and I've had all the next-gen systems. But one thing that has always maintained my interest, was always PC gaming. I mean, I have, a computer that's not that terrible. It's not amazing in comparison to some people that I know, but I'm getting there. I would say my favorite game of all time, I don't want to sound cliche, would probably be Skyrim. I mean, just looking at my Steam here, I've logged over 700 hours in Skyrim. I mean, that's just crazy. And no, not I mean, and some people will play games, just to play the games and be done with them. I mean, Skyrim, you could turn stuff on, you can turn stuff off, and like mods and everything like that. and ENBs and everything like that, and it's always fun for me. But I just love to play video games. Recently, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and then I'll be getting The Witcher in a few days. But I always love to see how far I can push my hardware. Haven't had a power supply blow up. Not in a few years. But I love to get the most out of my hardware that I can.
Awesome. So, I guess really, all three of us, we've been gaming since we were little. And to me, the biggest thing that I have an issue with gaming, especially nowadays, is the fact that I feel graphics have overtaken actual gameplay. That graphics, microtransactions, and that type of stuff are just destroying what made gaming great. So you see all these video games being remastered. You have freaking Gears of War being remastered, made for the Xbox One. It's not actually a trilogy, unless they announce it at E3 that it is. Supposedly only the first one. But you see Last of Us, and it seems like all these consoles are just remaking video games rather than producing actual new games. And to me, it's kind of geared towards making graphics more important as a priority, which I always felt gameplay was more important, but.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on gameplay. Sometimes you watch a quick YouTube video of a game that you're interested in and end up buying it because it just looks amazing. It looks like so much fun, but graphics don't go a really long way. And back in the days of like the early consoles, your game wasn't going to go anywhere if it wasn't fun to play. And graphics didn't really matter because you only had so much capability, but in this day and age, it's not rare to play a game that looks amazing and just is absolutely horrible. And then sometimes I'll stumble across like an indie game that looks like garbage and is amazing. And as a matter of fact, Minecraft, for example.
Yep, that's what I was thinking of.
When I first saw first heard of the game, I looked at a couple of YouTube videos. I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Who would play this garbage? This is so dumb looking. One of my buddies eventually convinced me to try it, and I just couldn't believe how much fun I had playing this game that just looks like absolute crap. But I don't know, I literally felt like here I am again, like in the sandbox with my buddies. I'll build something over here, you build something over there, and just there's so many things about Minecraft. Like you can see where people are looking around and stuff, so when they're looking at you, it just creates a really cool atmosphere and fun interaction with your friends, which is one of my most major focuses on gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's the issue too. I look at back in the day, there was no online multiplayer. You have to be in the house, either in the basement, living room, bedroom, whatever it might be. But you have to actually physically be there in order to play these video games with your friends. And I feel like online games have taken away a lot of that interactivity. It's really kind of demonstrated, if this game is just strictly online only, then that's all we should care about. And you look at Battlefront coming out, Star Wars Battlefront, there's no single-player campaign whatsoever. And to me, some people might look at that as like, oh, okay, whatever. But I actually I still remember playing just single-player only games, switching between anytime somebody died, switching the controller, beating a level, switching the controller. We still had fun with single-player games. I feel like online is just... outside just graphics, online games are just taking over, and there's no more single-player stories anymore.
Well, I know it's your turn to talk, Tom. I just want to say something quick about that myself. I actually welcome the online universe. Single-player games are fun. The only real fun I've had playing single-player games were like all of the Final Fantasies, some of the old RPGs for Super Nintendo, but personally, I love playing games with friends. Like before Call of Duty became cliche and played out, I got the first couple Call of Duties, and I'd play the campaign for a couple missions and be like, this is awesome, like this is amazing single player. But then I'd be like, honestly, I don't care because I just want to go play with other people, and like I wouldn't finish it, even though I knew I had this like pure gold campaign to play. I just would not end up playing it. So. I'm all about online.
For me, the biggest thing about it is, some of my best memories are when I was playing that N64, playing GoldenEye with like a bunch of other people, all in one room, yelling at each other and swearing, calling each other like an asshole, Like, like I was telling you guys, like a week or so ago, one of my favorite things to do in GoldenEye that I did with one of my best friends was we would play in the facility with proximity mines, and we all knew where everybody would spawn. So, we would lay the proximity mine right there as soon as they are alive, and we played on license to kill, like, one hit, one kill.
Yeah.
So, like, as soon as you would spawn, I mean, you would blow up, you would die, you'd get pissed and everything like that. And what I really liked about before everything went online is that unless you had like the strategy guide or a friend that lived close, if you couldn't beat something, you were pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
And that was that made it really fun. Now when online came out, and Jason, going back with remastering games being more about the graphics, I think the reason it's more about the graphics, because I'm going to go off on a tangent here. The reason that I think it's more about the graphics is because now we have hardware that can more or less, make it look very real. Like, I think one of the best console games I played just because of how it looks was The Last of Us, the remastered version. I mean, it just looks incredible. I mean, like, the screenshots, I mean, just looks so lifelike. And you look at some scenes in that game and you're like, this is better than real life. Or like, like right now, Damien, you can probably attest to this, Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PC looks incredible. I mean, the rain in that game looks more realistic than rain in real life. I mean, it's nuts. It doesn't make any sense.
What I like about Grand Theft Auto is just the cityscapes and like landscapes. Like you come around the corner in your car and you get like an awesome beach shot, and you see like the city in the background, and the world's alive with cars driving around and people walking around and animals running around and stuff. It's just amazing. I mean, you get that feeling like you do in real life when you're like driving to the beach for 4 hours and finally you see it, and you're like, oh man, that's awesome. I mean, I experienced that kind of thing in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, I know did you play and beat the Order 1886? I know you said you had it.
I mean, I played it for a few hours. Unfortunately, I didn't beat it because eventually it just got really boring for me. I mean, the beginning of it was okay. It's like, okay, what's going on? There's like escaped convicts. Okay, not that big of a deal. I will say that you're running into your first werewolf in the game, though. Oh my god, it was awesome. You're in like a boiler room, and you're like, oh, what's going on over there? And like, the camera like pans around, like, oh, I don't know where it's coming from. And then you can see the werewolf. You're like, oh shit! And then like, it just like runs out. You have to like, take it out. And then there's more and more. But no, I mean, unfortunately, I did not finish the actual. I didn't finish the game because I just got bored.
So I mean, the only reason why I bring up that game is because Last of Us, to me, Last of Us is absolutely a gorgeous game, and it's one of those few games that actually, when it was made on the PS3, they even said that they wish they could have made it for the next-gen console because, graphically they were limited what they could do. So, but what really made Last of Us an incredible game, on top of just the looks, was the fact that it had story. So, Order 1886, and that game lasted me about 6-7 hours, and I beat it. But the problem with the game is it's so boring and repetitive, and the only reason why it got any attention, in my opinion, was the fact that how good the damn game looks. It just absolutely looks incredible, but the game has no substance. There's nothing to it. And I think that's where a lot of these developers have to make sure that they don't do that, because I don't have a problem with graphics, but I just have a problem when you don't have anything that outside of having a gorgeous-looking game.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, one thing that, I'm going to cut you off, Damien. My turn to talk. Anyway, one thing that, I really didn't like about, everything being remastered and, more so like, when consoles became more mainstream, I guess you could say, is, in old school games, there were no achievements or anything like that. Now games, like, you play like any shooter, the first time you pick up a gun, achievement. Oh, you didn't die, achievement. Oh, you killed a boss, achievement. And people think that achievements are the best thing in the world. Like, people will like, try and get every single achievement. It's like, good for them. I mean, I hope we can, I hope we can sleep at night getting all those achievements. At the same time, it's like, how much of the story are you getting to enjoy if you're just going for the achievements? Granted, I'm one of the types of guys that, if I play a game, I'm going to play it just to play the game. And then if there's an achievement that I want to go out and get, I'll try and get it. I'm not going to try for it. I mean, I'm not going to waste, like, 8, 10, hours on, one thing just trying to get one achievement. I'm not that kind of a person. Like, in Skyrim, going back to that, there's 4 achievements I still don't have. I can't figure out how to get them. I mean, it's really easy. I can't figure out how to get them. But, I'm not gonna lose sleep over the fact that I can't get achievements.
Yeah. Well, Tom, I feel the same way as you do about achievements. Like in World of Warcraft, there was a time where people would like inspect you and look at your achievements and be like, oh, you don't have very many achievements. And I never cared about it. I thought that achievements were an absolute waste of time. But I grew to realize that some people, maybe they suck at PvP. Maybe they're not a good raider. And you put them on accomplishing some achievements, and they're having a great time playing the game with everyone else. So, it's just kind of different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
you, Tom, I hate achievements.
I think the reason why achievements came about was the fact that they could take the absolute worst video game and make it worth playing just for the pure fact that it had achievements. I still remember Xbox 360, one of the worst games, yet my brother would go through the entire thing, was King Kong for the Xbox 360. And he had to get every freaking achievement in that game because he could not sleep without having every achievement. But that was when achievements were new. Trophies were then introduced on Sony, but that's when I feel like the nostalgia of all of that kind of just has worn off over time. I mean, look at Nintendo. They're probably now with the whole Nintendo NX, which is their new gaming console coming out, they're probably going to have to create some type of achievement system because they realize how much people actually care about this. But I agree with all you guys. I mean, achievements and trophies, to me, it doesn't matter. It adds some value to the game, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, achievements are good, and one of the things, Damien, going back to what you said, people inspecting you for achievements. I mean, that used to be what it was about, achievements, when achievements were really new in that game. But then eventually, Gear Score came around, and they used that instead, because it's not so much the fact that you've done it, it's that if you have the gear that can do it, then, that's awesome. And going back, Jason, what you were saying about, achievements, I mean, there are some people that, will post on Facebook, oh my god, I got all the achievements. Good job.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's just there's too much of an emphasis on achievements. Like, I've played World of Warcraft. Oh my god, I played World of Warcraft for 10 years. Not 10 years straight, because I have a job and stuff. But I mean, there are people that I'm sure you guys saw, those veterans who had active accounts for 10 years, got a really cool statue. Kind of made me jealous. It is a pretty cool looking statue. But I mean, there are people that they will just try. It's like, oh, I need to run for this. We got to get the achievement. And as soon as they realize they don't get the achievement, they just tell everybody to stop attacking. And they just want to wipe it. Okay, that's cool, but I kind of just want to explore the content. I don't want to wipe on one boss repeatedly on purpose just so you can get one achievement. You can do that on your own time.
Yeah, I get that. But wasn't it usually achievement runs and stuff like that? I remember seeing spam for achievement runs.
Well, yeah, but that's after you've already out-leveled the content of your gear is so much better. I mean, for that I can understand. But going to someplace new just to get an achievement when you haven't even got the fight down is just stupid to me.
We can move on from the achievement talk. Yeah. I have one more thing to say about it. The only time I ever thought achievements was cool is for instance in Arathi Basin, there's an achievement for win 2000 to 1990. You know what I mean? That's really cool when it'll mark a really rare occurrence. Oh yippee, you cleared all the quests on this level. I mean that's great and everything, but when you have an achievement for some really rare occurrence, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was I can't remember what game it was, but they would make fun of achievements. That was I swear to God, there was an achievement for flush the toilet in the game. Oh, you got an achievement for that? Really? Oh, wow.
I vaguely remember something like that where I got an achievement for peeing in a toilet or something like that in some game. It was one of these survival games on Steam. I think I can't remember what it was, but anyway.
But yeah, I mean. So, just kind of, I guess I'll ask you guys. So, I mean, we got E3 coming up. I mean, for me, this is my Christmas. E3, without question, is the most important week of my year. This is what I wait for. So, I mean, let's kind of just talk about what we hope to see from E3, and then go from there. So, I'll just kind of start it off. I really hope to kind of see. I mean, my biggest thing is outside of Fallout 4. My biggest thing is I want to see Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan in the world. Absolutely love that game, and I've been waiting to just see some more gameplay and possibly a release date. But that to me is the biggest thing at E3 I want to see.
I got to tell you, I'm what I consider to be a lazy gamer. And I think I represent like a pretty good chunk of gamers out there. And the reason why I say lazy gamer is like I don't like stay on the up and up with like everything going on in the game world. I'm too lazy. Like the time I'm going to sit at my computer is the time I'm going to spend playing a game. More so, seeing what the pros are up to and knowing what games are going to come out soon. I rely on Tom for that. Tom gives me that information. But and I know what E3 is. Obviously, I mean, what I would like to see, soon in gaming is, first of all, I've had my Xbox One since when it released, and I still haven't had any fun on that damn thing. To be perfectly honest with you, like, I want to see some I want to see some better games come out with good replay value. I don't know. I mean, maybe World of Warcraft killed this for me forever, but I want a game that I can get really sucked into at some point on the Xbox. Like I was to World of Warcraft at one point, or to League of Legends, or Heroes of the Storm these days. And to me, the biggest difference between, like, I'm a computer gamer, but every once in a while it's nice to go sit on the couch with a slice of pizza, and, put your feet up and just sit there and, laugh with your friends. When you're on
a single slice of pizza, Damien.
Well, but, on the computer you're kind of forced to be in an upright position. A lot of people play in that kind of a position. So anyway, I'm just looking to see some more content for the consoles.
I mean, for me, for E3, the big things that I'm looking forward to, I mean, I don't want to say it because I know it's probably going to suck, but it's going to look amazing, is, the stuff that Ubisoft is coming out with. The next Assassin's Creed game, I forget the name of it, to be honest.
Syndicate.
Syndicate, thank you. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a good idea. I think it's going to be in China. Can't remember. Anyway, I mean, after the colossal, for lack of better words, failure that Unity was, I mean, I'm not, putting any more stock in Assassin's Creed because they're trying to push out these sequels year after year after year. And to me, I mean, there were some good ones like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Oh my God, that was amazing. I loved that game. I mean,
Agreed.
you could be a pirate. You can go deep sea diving for like stuff, and you got to blow up ships. That was amazing. The biggest thing about Ubisoft, their booth that I'm waiting to see, is I hope they have more stuff on The Division. Because, I mean, they had a lot of stuff at E3 in 2013 and 2014. But the thing about it is, in the game, I mean, what they're wanting to accomplish with the game looks so amazing. And, I mean, I hate to say it again, but it's being developed by Ubisoft. And I'm a little bit shaky on that because, I mean, I want the game to be amazing. At the same time, I don't want Ubisoft to screw it up and have the game suck.
Yeah, I think it's a good sign that that the Division was delayed, because that actually shows that, Ubisoft is basically, they know what they have with the Division, and they don't want to fuck it up. So they looked at it and they're like, okay, we have to delay this because we cannot release it if it's not done.
Yeah, the only other thing that I'm looking forward to, I'm hoping that Hello Games, which is the producers of No Man's Sky, is also going to have something more to show. I mean, that's a game that I think I was telling you guys. I mean, I've been following that game and The Division for like 6 months to a year. I mean, just the sheer scope of No Man's Sky and what they want to accomplish is incredible. I mean, they haven't set a release date. It's going to be on the PlayStation 4 and the PC. Probably not. I mean, I'm not saying probably not, but they haven't released anything about the Xbox. But you have to remember, the thing with the PlayStation 4 is that, and Sony, is that they were really, into, indie games, which technically this really is. It's not a big studio. I mean, it's Hello Games, but I mean, what they want to accomplish, and from all the video that I've seen and I've shared with you guys, I mean, that game looks like it's going to be incredible. The fact that we have technology that allow you to go from space to a planet surface and back up into space to another planet all seamlessly is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope that they bring out the big guns at E3 this year. I mean, I doubt that there's going to be a beta for it. That'd be awesome because I would play it. But it's just one of those games that because it's being not produced by a shady company, that I'm sure it's going to do amazing because of what they want to accomplish.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, that's the coolest thing is the fact that, I mean, you can actually go through the planet's surface and actually land. I mean, we have Mass Effect that you can actually land on the planet, but nothing to this scope of what they're trying to do with No Man's Sky. And to me, I hope it lives up to everything that we're seeing so far, because this game is going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess, the one thing I was going to bring up too, and, because they just released the specs for it for PC, which was the Oculus Rift. To me, the next big thing is going to be virtual reality. The 3D gaming, to me, that is going to be the biggest thing. It's going to be the next step into what gaming actually can be. And yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. But me personally, I can't wait to actually use Project Morpheus on the PS4 or the Oculus Rift with a game from Steam. I'm hoping that Doom is one of the games that you could use with Oculus Rift. To me, that would be the coolest thing. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on it?
Damien, you go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm certainly looking forward to it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've played these state-of-the-art virtual reality simulators and all this kind of stuff, and it's just terrible. I mean, it's fun because you can kind of feel like you're there, but I think we're finally technologically getting to the point now where we can really start to implement virtual reality, and it's going to be amazing. I think there's going to be some kinks to work out in the beginning. I think a lot of people are going to have like motion sickness and stuff like what we're seeing with Oculus Rift right now. After you kind of have the headset on for a while and your brain thinks you're moving, but it knows that your body isn't moving, it gives a lot of people motion sickness. Outside of gaming, I just think I think virtual reality and like altered reality is just going to completely revolutionize computing in general. Because for instance, if you could put on a set of glasses and sit at an empty conference table in your business, and then like have a meeting with someone, and you could basically see them on your glasses like they're sitting there at the table with you, and just that kind of stuff. Now we can kind of like interact on a virtual level. But yeah, with gaming, it's going to be amazing. I mean, I can't wait till I can like feel like I'm holding a gun, like shooting stuff, and that kind of thing. It's going to be freaking sweet.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, did you see the Kingsman? Because yeah, that was. There's a scene in The Kingsman where he just puts on the glasses and everybody's around him at the meeting table.
No, I didn't see that. I did not.
And that's going to be really cool. I mean, augmented reality, like, I mean, I saw something, oh man, I think it was from Microsoft a few days ago, where they had like almost like a Minecraft thing where like, some guy was like, tapping on the wall and like TNT blocks appeared, and then he just went like this, and like, they all lit up and exploded. Now on the other side of the wall was just Minecraft, and he would like look at his table, and like he would like move his fingers around, and it would just build different stuff that was in Minecraft. I mean, stuff like that is going to be amazing. Augmented reality, I think that's going to be more a lot of people's speed, because I mean, virtual reality, that's awesome. The thing about it is like you're going to have to get what is that thing called? A thing where you like stand in one area. Like
so you can like walk around and stuff.
Yeah, that thing.
Right.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think augmented reality is going to be bigger. Like you can see like with like your glasses on or whatever you're using, like Google Glass probably could do this too. Like you're just walking down the street and like zombies or something like that. And like, oh my god, and you shoot them. You just hold up your finger that has like a sensor on it or something like that, and you're shooting the zombies. I mean, granted, people probably look at you like you're crazy, but it wouldn't matter. You're like, no, you got to try these out. Like, look at this. I mean, I think that's going to be cool because if we can do that, that would be incredible. Like I want my room to look really cool. I'm going to put like a fake lava lamp over here, or like some other stuff over here, and only I can see it. That's amazing. I mean, granted, I have no idea how expensive it would be.
Yeah.
And everything like that. But I mean, the fact that we're in a time where stuff like that is going to become like a reality is amazing.
I think that's just it, though, Tom. Like expensive, kind of not worried about it. I mean, I think we'll pay like. Let's just call it $1,000 for this really good virtual reality headset. But from some of the stuff I've seen from Microsoft, like what you're going to be able to do is like set up your virtual environment so that you have a humongous fucking TV on your wall. So like you're wearing these glasses and you can be watching a 60-inch TV and you didn't buy it, and you can have like little, just like widgets ticking and telling you the weather. You can just like look around and this kind of thing, or just like all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's easy for me to say, oh, I'm not worried about the money, but I think it's going to save money indirectly with things like wearing shades and putting displays on your wall and that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, I would say, yeah, because I mean that's the thing too that I actually thought of that too, is the fact that if you have a fantastic virtual reality headset, this is probably going to be 8 to 10 years down the line, but a 4K virtual reality headset that's so freaking real that you can't tell the difference from real life and these glasses, could the TV potentially just die out? Everybody is just using these glasses to see everything in front of them. I honestly think that's going to happen at some point in the future.
Well, and could you imagine, like, we as a society move from, like, what a traditional TV show is, where you sit and watch a screen, to, like, companies producing things that, like, you put on your IVR headset, and you're, like, sitting there, like, witnessing everything, like, you feel like you're there, and like terrorists attack, and that's like what kind of TV becomes, is like you being inserted into like a certain production. So that kind of thing could be really cool. One more thing that I wanted to mention while we're on the topic of virtual reality is, have you guys seen the trailer for this new virtual reality theme park called The Void?
No.
Oh my God, it looks amazing. So, like, basically you're walking around in, like, a warehouse that has, like, all these plywood structures, but you're wearing a virtual reality headset, and, like, what you think is, like, this crazy computer with, like, holographic displays, and you have to, like, type in a key code. It's really just, like, a blank wall, but you're walking around with your friends, and you're, like, hefting, like, a gun, and you, like, walk through the environment, and, like, there's all kinds of cool stuff, like, they show this one scene where this like spaceship comes and like lands in front of them. Well, you're wearing a headset and you don't know this, but there's like these things like blasting cool air at you and stuff. So like really will put you in there and make you feel like you're really experiencing that kind of thing. I'm really excited about that. Watch the trailer. Just search for The Void on Google, and the second thing that comes up is the trailer for it. It's awesome.
I definitely have to check that out. Thanks.
Yeah, that to me. Have you guys been to Universal Studios?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
not for a while.
Yeah, he was just talking about what it sounded like. It was like the Terminator ride or whatever it was.
Yeah, they have the Spider-Man rides. I mean, they sit there and breathe like fog or whatever on you. You can smell the different things. But yeah, that to me that'd be freaking sweet. I mean, I'm excited for virtual reality. I know it just kind of shows us how big of gamers we are, because everybody else looks at virtual reality like, oh, porn. But we're looking at like, oh, imagine what world you could actually be in. I can be in the Call of Duty world, which is probably not for everybody, especially for veterans and that stuff. I would imagine they don't want to re-experience that.
Yeah.
But that to me, that's just something that's really cool, and I just can't wait to sit there and actually, because I heard, at least the rumors are that Project Morpheus is going to be shown at E3 from Sony's booth, and they've already talked about it being out next year. So.
I mean, I think with so many companies coming with their own virtual reality and augmented reality stuff, I mean, it's good to have that competition, because, then, basically, they can determine the price. I don't think they're all going to come out with, virtual reality or augmented reality headsets that are all going to be like, $500 to $1,000. And we have no idea what the price point is. At the same time, oh my God, I'm going to want to get one. Yeah. I mean, it's just going to be so cool. Like, I can just imagine playing, like, I don't know if you guys ever played, what was that game? Outlast? But, I mean, Outlast, a survival horror game. Playing that, even with a controller in your hand and, like, one of the the headsets and everything like that, and, like, looking around and everything like that, and having, like, all this shit jump out at you would be amazing. But, I mean, I just hope that Oculus Rift and Morpheus and whatever the other ones are, the one that Valve is coming out with, and like all those things, I just hope that they make them affordable. I mean, I'm not saying I'm hurting for money, not all the time at least, But I just want everybody to be able to experience it, and I think that's what a lot of the companies are wanting. I mean, they want it to be expensive enough so that you have to think about a purchase, but they want it to be cheap enough that most people will be able to afford it without basically busting, breaking the bank.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why I'm really.
yeah.
That's why I'm really looking forward to the Microsoft answer, because it's going to be really widespread. Microsoft's a company that people can really get behind, and when it's a Microsoft product, there's going to be more development and stuff behind it than just gaming. But the reason why I say that is because indirectly it'll make it a better gaming headset, that kind of a thing. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to all this stuff, and I think we were talking earlier about how graphics don't necessarily make a game. I think it's all about immersion. Like the scariest I've ever been playing a game was like Resident Evil 1, and that looks like shit. But here I am like screaming playing the game, and then Silent Hill a couple of times I literally shut my PlayStation off and ran outside, terrified. And it's all because of immersion, and I think that's what we're going to see with in virtual reality and stuff.
Yeah, with RPGs, one of the things that I really like that some developers are doing, especially in like Skyrim and stuff like that, Bethesda, what they were doing, and in RPGs is the ability to turn off stuff on your HUD. Like you can completely turn off the heads-up display. Like playing a Skyrim without a HUD or anything like that going on is just beautiful. I mean, granted, you're not just going to sit at the screen like this, but I mean, if you had one of those headsets and turn off the HUD, it would be like you're actually there, and that would just be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think it was either Xbox 360 or the Xbox One, but it was revealed at E3, and I remember they showed how they actually had like backgrounds appear on your wall from the Xbox Kinect and something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you guys remember.
Yep.
That. So to me, this is really kind of taking over that. Like they're getting forget that, and they're just kind of putting on these headsets. But I mean, if you look at it, price point. I mean, consider the fact that the Xbox One Kinect is a camera that you pay $150 for, but look at the price of iPads and all that type of stuff. This HoloLens is what Microsoft is making for the PCs, but these, honestly, if they're priced at $499, $599, I don't see how people can sit there and say, well, that is way overpriced. I mean, $399, something like that, but they can't really say that's overpriced considering the fact you're getting a television set and you're getting this incredible immersive experience. It's better than the Virtual Boy, and I can't remember what the heck the price on that thing was.
Oh, God, the Virtual Boy. Oh my God, I remember the Virtual Boy. Oh, that was so bad. Wasn't it the one that you had on your head and you had look at it from one eye and it was all red?
Yeah, it was everything was red.
It was you had to set it on something or lay down face on a bed, and you basically are like this. Your hands are on the controller and your face goes up to this thing.
Was that the Virtual Boy or what was that? I mean,
yeah,
it was all red and black.
I'm thinking of something that you strapped on your head. It was almost like in Dragon Ball Z. Remember the Scouter? It was like that, except it was from the side. It came down from the top, and it was on this tiny screen that was maybe an inch and a half by an inch and a half. And it only had 3 games for it.
It sounds like you're talking about it.
Tekken, and one of them was Tekken. It was all red. I'm like, what is this? But at the time, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't know if you see. To me, I watch anime. I don't know if you guys watch it at all, but there's there's this anime called Sword Art Online. It's basically about how the virtual reality becomes so real that they actually are in the video game. And I hope we don't get to the point where Microsoft locks us in there and we can't actually leave. So that's what the whole.
I wouldn't care. I would not care. I welcome that with arms wide open.
Something I was going to say is, you were talking about price point on the headset. This is why I'm excited for it to be a Microsoft product, because they don't often rape you on the price of their hardware. They kind of absorb the development cost and give you a really good piece of hardware for a really good price. For instance,
Xbox One, $500.
Well, but for instance, if you see these universities doing these really advanced do-it-yourself robot projects and self-driving cars and stuff, they have an Xbox One Kinect strapped on the hood of the vehicle. I mean, because like Jason said, it's $150, but it's like military grade, like motion tracking technology and all kinds of software built into it. So that's why I'm hoping that with Microsoft's altered or augmented reality release, it's going to be affordable and it's going to be a really, really good quality product.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very
And
true.
I think the thing is, you know, I honestly don't think these virtual reality headsets, whether it's Project Morpheus, whatever Microsoft decides to link with the Xbox, I don't think games are going to be the most important thing in the beginning. I think like a 4 or 5 hour video game experience, to me, that is going to be perfectly fine, and it's virtual reality is the selling point. That's going to get them by, at least in the beginning. So I think everybody that sits there and says, well, it depends on what games are actually going to come out. To me, it doesn't matter at this point. I've seen somebody was like deep sea ocean diver or something like that. I mean, heck, if you put me in a world with Jurassic Park world, I will be set. I don't care what game it is. I'll just walk through the park and I'll be perfectly fine just experiencing that.
Yeah, until like something terrible happens and you end up shitting yourself because you're terrified because there's dinosaurs everywhere. But I mean, the fact that that could happen would be amazing. Or like like you guys were saying before, Call of Duty. Oh my God, that'd be fucking terrifying because I don't want to get shot. I know I wouldn't, but still. But I mean, Minecraft would be awesome. Like I mean, granted, yes, it'd still be blocks. Too bad. But I mean, Minecraft would be amazing for something like that to be like I wouldn't say stuck in a world, but to be in a world, or like make it look more real. I mean, like I think the realist, I guess you could say if that's a word, version of Minecraft that I've ever played. It's actually a game on Steam. It's called Rising World. I mean, this game is like if Minecraft had a physics engine and it wasn't all blocks. I've played it for like, let's see here, 10 hours in the last 2 weeks. The game is so fun. Like, I dug a hole, and I can still get out, but as soon as I get to the bottom, it's completely dark, which, makes sense. And then there's other stuff going on there, and I can't see it. I got killed by a bear. That was fun. I got killed by wolves. That kind of sucked. I mean, and there's like, it's just like Minecraft with better graphics, but just to think that you could, I guess you could say, quote unquote, teleport yourself into one of those worlds or have that world be all around you and only you can see it, that'd be great. As long as, it doesn't screw up and you end up getting stuck there, have like a brain aneurysm or something like that. That'd be kind of bad.
Well, guys, I think lastly we should talk about Munchie and what Munchie is and what our goal is with Munchie. Jason, do you want to start?
We probably should have started with that.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's where we can edit stuff.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the reason why, Munchie was created was kind of creating a network for gamers. Now, you kind of look at there's various things, but there's nothing really truly for gamers, and that's what Munchie's all about. To me, I hope to sit there. I see the future of Munchie being not only social networking, but I see it creating and recording live tournaments, LAN parties, getting gamers together like we used to do when we were kids. That's a one-on-one, that live experience that you really, to me, you can have an awesome online experience, but in-person experience is always going to beat that. So that's kind of what I look for in Munchie. And of course, we got munchiegaming.com up now. And we're just going to continue to do this, but that's really what I hope for this channel and everything, is just kind of just do gaming, do fun videos, and that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to doing.
Yeah, really my focus on Munchie is community. Through my years of gaming, especially in online gaming, I've just met so many cool people, and I would like to continue to meet cool people. And I always feel like there's just not a good centralized something for gamers. Like, everybody's in their own little sects or whatever you want to call them, and kind of hang out and do the same thing all the time. But there isn't really like a place to go, so to speak, or like a hub for gaming that people use. I don't know. So that's kind of what my focus is just getting people together in a positive type community. And just providing quality coverage of up and coming releases and just playing games. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys pretty much have, said it all. I mean, that's what we're all about. We all want to be, I mean, you said there's not much out there in terms of like a community for gamers. Yeah, there are gaming communities, but there's not really a social community. I mean, I want to be able to connect with gamers that are in my area, or like, I want to be able to know the person that I just, like shot and teabagged who lives in another state. I mean, that'd just be hilarious. I mean, yeah, it would suck for them because I'm awesome, but whatever. I mean, and playing new games with each other, reviewing new games, giving everybody updates on like news, new games, hardware, all that stuff. E3, the Tokyo Game Show, like all that stuff. All these gaming related things. I mean, that's what I want to be able to share with like everybody, or like our streams that we'll be having on our Twitch. I mean, to have as many people watching as we can, that'd be awesome. Live comments, our website, just everything like that, and our mobile app that eventually we'll have.
Just hanging out, being friends. And another thing, I think, one more thing about Munchie that I think I see in the future is once we start getting people together and really building this community, and we get more known in the gaming world. Eventually, we could potentially be a big voice in the gaming community, and could, there really isn't a voice for gamers. Like, yeah, IGN can bitch about stuff all they want, but what if there was actually like a representation of gamers? Like, I'm tired of buying EA titles that aren't even a complete game, and I just got to sit there and like eat it. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any returns. Well, fuck you. This game sucks, and you guys promised so much more, and you didn't deliver. And it'd just be nice for gamers to have some kind of a voice, and I think it's going to take a big community of people to do something like that.
Yeah, and I think I mean that's not to bash places like IGN, but I think the issue is when you have people that are getting paid promotions from certain companies to advertise on their website. They're obviously not going to give the truest review about a game. So that's my issue with going to IGN for gaming reviews and honesty and that type of stuff. It's like having somebody pay you to say, hey, make sure you don't trash this game too much, even if it's not good. That's essentially what it is. So that's the other big thing, is definitely to have honesty with Munchie. If there's a great game coming out or that has come out, that we make sure that we all kind of play it, test it, and let people know how it actually is. Yeah, I agree with you, Damien. I want to create a place where people can actually go and say, oh, okay, well, I know I can trust them and their experience with the game. They're going to be completely honest with me and all that stuff. So that'll definitely be important.
It's good to have a place, because I'm guilty. Earlier, you guys were talking about The Witcher 3. So while we were talking a little bit, I just went on Amazon and looked at the game and was looking at reviews. But in the probably millions of copies that have sold of that game, there's 40 reviews on Amazon. So I think eventually, with Munchie, we'll have some kind of a portal to have good game reviews by the community for the community. And I know saying something like that, like by us for us, gets really played out, but really I think we're going to accomplish it here, and it's going to be really worth our while and everybody's while.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, our first episode of MunchCast, and so we're gonna definitely do this weekly, at least once a week. Then we're gonna be, like Damien has said, we're gonna be continuing to do our Twitch stream and all that stuff. But yeah, definitely got exciting things coming from Munchie. Anything else you guys want to finish off with?
I just want to put it out there. Anybody wanting to dig deep into Munchie and get to know us, you're more than welcome. Just visit munchiegaming.com. Check out our website. We'll get the TeamSpeak server information up there. Anybody's more than welcome to come join us. I mentioned before I play Heroes of the Storm. If anybody wants to add me, I'm Demonic, number 1495. So send me a friend request. Let's play.
All right, one thing I want to add, I'm pretty sure that most gamers that are watching, at least on the PC, have Steam. If you want to add me to your Steam friends, I mean, my handle is BigSarge05. I've had that handle for as long as I can remember. I used to have 04, but we're not going to talk about what happened with that one. That was like years ago. Or if you want to add me on, on BattleNet, I mean, you can add me at Malice MAHLUS number 1412.
Yeah, my Steam is Demonic Damien, and it's really funny because, like Tom, I've had that forever, and actually I haven't changed my password over the years, and my password is related to my 14-year-old girlfriend. When I was 14, like that's what my password is. I've never changed it in like 15 years. It's so damn funny. Every time I have to type it in, I start laughing my ass off.
I know. I would laugh my ass off if I had to type in Pamela Henderson every time too. oh, zing! I gotcha.
Alright, well, yeah, that does it for the first episode of MunchCast. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. We definitely enjoyed having this discussion, this conversation, and we're going to definitely open up this YouTube live, this live podcast, live broadcast to other people as well, so we can kind of get questions asked by the audience, by you guys, and that's going to be something that we're definitely going to be doing as well. So, yeah, my name is Jason Nova.
Sarge.
Demonic.
All right, and thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.